The United States and China are locked in a trade war. It's a battle of tariffs, with each side trying to protect its own interests. The stakes are high, the global economy is feeling the heat. All eyes are on Geneva, Switzerland. Top trade officials from both countries are meeting there. They are trying to find a way out of the deadlock. The trade war began in 2025. The Trump administration imposed tariffs on Chinese goods. The goal was to protect American jobs and businesses. China responded with tariffs of its own. The back and forth has escalated tensions between the two superpowers. This trade war is about more than just tariffs. It's about the future of the global economy. China is a rising economic power. The U.S. is trying to maintain its dominance. The outcome of the trade war will have major implications for the world. The Geneva talks are a chance for a reset. Both sides have a lot to lose if the trade war continues. A negotiated settlement is in everyone's best interests. But can the two sides find common ground? The world is watching and waiting. The trade war began with a bang. President Trump slapped tariffs on billions of dollars worth of Chinese imports. The tariffs were steep, ranging from 145% to 125%. The Trump administration claimed these tariffs were necessary. They argued China was engaging in unfair trade practices. These practices, they said, were hurting American businesses and workers. China wasn't going to take this lying down. They retaliated with their own tariffs on American goods. These tariffs targeted key American exports like soybeans and automobiles. The message was clear. This trade war would hurt both sides. The impact of the tariffs was immediate. American businesses and consumers started feeling the pinch. Prices for everyday goods began to rise. Farmers found themselves shut out of the Chinese market. The trade war was starting to bite. The trade war has taken a toll on both the U.S. and Chinese economies. In the United States, economic growth has slowed down. The stock market has been volatile. Businesses are uncertain about the future. The tariffs have disrupted supply chains and increased costs. China has also felt the pain. Their economy, once a powerhouse of growth, has started to sputter. Factory activity has contracted. Exports have declined. The trade war has exposed vulnerabilities in the Chinese economy. The impact of the trade war extends beyond the U.S. and China. The global economy is interconnected. When two of the world's largest economies sneeze, the rest of the world catches a cold. The International Monetary Fund has warned that the trade war is a threat to global growth. Amidst the gloom and doom, there is a glimmer of hope. The meeting in Geneva between U.S. and Chinese trade officials is a sign that both sides are willing to talk. After months of escalating tensions, the two superpowers are finally sitting down at the negotiating table. The Geneva talks are being closely watched by the world. They are seen as a crucial first step towards de-escalating the trade war. But expectations are low. No one expects a breakthrough agreement. The goal is more modest: to start a dialogue and find a way to move forward. The U.S. delegation is led by Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and Trade Representative Jamieson Greer. The Chinese delegation is led by Vice Premier He Lifeng. These are seasoned negotiators with a deep understanding of the complexities of the trade relationship between the two countries. Section 5. The stakes on the table. The stakes at the Geneva talks are high. The United States wants China to address its concerns about unfair trade practices. They want China to open up its markets to American goods and services. They also want China to stop stealing American intellectual property. China, for its part, wants the United States to remove the tariffs. They argue that the tariffs are hurting both economies. They also want the United States to treat China as an equal partner on the world stage. The two sides are far apart on many issues, but there are some areas of potential compromise. For example, China has signaled that it is willing to increase its purchases of American agricultural products. This could provide some relief to American farmers who have been hurt by the trade war. Section 6. Beyond tariffs, a battle for global influence. The trade war between the United States and China is about more than just tariffs. It is a reflection of a deeper rivalry between the two countries. The United States has been the world's leading economic and military power for decades, but China is rapidly catching up. China's economic rise has been nothing short of remarkable. It is now the world's second largest economy and a major player in global trade. China has also been investing heavily in its military. It is now a major military power in the Asia-Pacific region. The United States is watching China's rise with a mix of admiration and anxiety. On the one hand, the United States welcomes China's integration into the global economy. On the other hand, the United States is concerned about China's growing economic and military might. Section 7. The world watches and waits. The world is watching the trade war between the United States and China with a mixture of anxiety and frustration. The trade war is hurting the global economy. It is creating uncertainty and volatility in financial markets. And it is undermining the rules-based trading system that has underpinned global prosperity for decades. The European Union, Japan, and other major economies have all called on the United States and China to resolve their differences through dialogue and negotiation. They have also urged the two countries to refrain from taking actions that could further escalate the trade war. The trade war is a test of the global trading system. If the two largest economies in the world cannot resolve their differences peacefully, it will set a dangerous precedent for other countries. Section 8. The long road ahead. The Geneva talks are just the beginning of a long and difficult process. Even if the talks are successful in de-escalating the trade war, it will take years, if not decades, to resolve the underlying economic and strategic tensions between the United States and China. The two countries have very different economic systems. The United States has a market-based economy, while China has a state-capitalist economy. These differences have led to friction in the past, and they are likely to continue to do so in the future. The United States and China also have different strategic interests. The United States is committed to maintaining its global leadership, while China is seeking to expand its influence in the world. These competing interests are likely to lead to further competition and tension between the two countries. Section 9. A turning point or more turbulence. The Geneva talks are a critical moment in the United States-China trade war. They could mark a turning point towards de-escalation and dialogue, or they could be a prelude to further escalation and economic conflict. The outcome of the talks will depend on the willingness of both sides to compromise and find common ground. The world is watching closely. The stakes are high. The future of the global economy may hang in the balance. Only time will tell whether the Geneva talks will be remembered as a step towards peace or a missed opportunity for cooperation.